So here's a quick one that definitely falls under the categories you can't make this shit up, and how, once again, some women, the lengths they'll go to gaslight and twist things around to not accept accountability for their actions that I've seen in a while. Title: My wife, a 30-year-old female, cheated on me with our son's nanny, a 24-year-old female, and acts like I'm crazy for being upset. Told you. Says here, my wife and I have been married for 4 years now. We have a 2-year-old son who has a nanny that overall has been great. Until recently, obviously. My wife works 2 to 3 days a week, and I work from home most of the time, but go into the office on Wednesday. Our nanny is not straight and married. I've had what I thought was a good working relationship with her. We exchange pleasantries in the morning and talk every so often throughout the day. I've treated her really well, and actually my wife has been constantly wanting to let her go to find more affordable childcare since before they had the affair. It makes the betrayal sting a lot more because I don't think the nanny ever realized that I'm the reason she has the job, not my wife. The wife probably wants to get rid of her because she has feelings for her and doesn't want to mess up the whole thing, Lord knows. Well, basically a few weeks ago, I noticed for the first time my wife is really protective over her phone. I always tell you about the phone, guys. We were driving somewhere and needed to update the nanny on when we'd be back. I went for my wife's phone, which usually isn't a big deal, but this time she, as the driver, snatched the phone out of my hands and got very defensive, telling me to use my own phone. If it's just a phone looking for free trying to use the Google Maps, what's the big deal here? Well, you'll see. It felt extremely odd. Trust your gut, gentlemen. I decided to look at the cameras in our house that evening and noticed that the days I'm not home, but my wife is, they both leave their living room for over an hour when my son naps. Well, I don't think they're in the freaking kitchen playing Candyland or playing bridge or playing some game. They're playing, well, different games. There's no other cameras except very obvious ones in the living room. At this point, I decided to get onto my wife's MacBook, and easily enough, without any investigating, I saw the texts. They were flirting, exchanging photos, including nudes, sexting, and my wife even said some of the things that indicate physical cheating had already happened. Doing the nanny, huh? Usually it's the dude doing the nanny, but in this case, I confronted my wife and she took the approach of calling me a bigot and asking me why I hired a not straight woman if I'm not an ally. She has taken no responsibility for damaging our relationship. So let me get this straight. She's cheating on him and her child with the nanny, the not straight nanny, and because he's upset about this, like any husband has a right to be, he is being labeled by her as a bigot and not being an ally to them, etc., etc. And she is not in the wrong here. Get the fuck out of here. If they had a pool boy, and she say she was a good wife, and they had a pool boy or a dude a young guy mowing their lawn, and she found that her husband was getting frisky with the pool boy mowing the lawn, you think in a normal situation she wouldn't be pissed? Come on here. Also from the text, it's really clear that our nanny's wife doesn't know either. And the nanny made comments about wishing they had her and my wife met before either of them met their current spouses. You know what? We have been married very long. Y'all can go be together. We're going to divorce. I got the proof. And you can go have your fun together. Basically, my wife doesn't consider this cheating. And the nanny doesn't know that I know either. My wife also told me it'd be petty and mean to tell the other nanny's wife, which I plan to do. You're darn right. It's not necessarily mean and petty, but no one can blame him. But I think this young gal, the nanny's wife, has a right to know about what's going on here. Come on. I think my marriage is over. Really, dude? And I hate everything now. I really need advice on what to do. Is there any reason not to tell my nanny's wife? Is it really not cheating in this scenario? Dude, I know you're upset, but come on here. Yes, it's cheating. Am I being a bigot for being upset? No. I would support my wife if she were bi, but I thought that would mean having a discussion. Well, obviously she likes girls, so that's the thing. But regardless, she was doing this behind your back with the help and making you out to be the bad guy because of this whole thing. No. End of story. And even then, if you found out later on afterwards that she was attracted to women and has to fulfill those urges, then the marriage is not going to work. End of story. I think he said they've married 4 years. Okay. It's not like it was 40 years. It's not working out. You can't trust her. She's a liar. Makes you out to be the villain here, labeling you a bigot and all those things. This is not going to work. Talk to a lawyer. Find out your options, good, bad, or ugly. He's no doubt going to take a hit. But you know what? It's better to be married to her because there's obviously no love there. She's not in love with him. Obviously, her heart and desires lies with the fairer sex. So, okay, fine. Go be with them. But it's not going to work. And your child, who's only 2 years old, fortunately he's young enough, is not going to really know what the hell's going on, and doesn't have to grow up in a house where mom and dad hate each other's guts, and mom is checking out every single girl when they go out for a walk. It's not going to work. Okay? If that's who she is, that's who she's attracted to, so be it. But it's not going to work out those two together. But her labeling him the bad guy and a bigot because he has a problem with her hooking up with her, of course he has a problem with her. And if the situation was reversed, and he was doing the pool boy, she'd have a right to get upset too. So it's not going to work out. And like I said, you can't make this stuff up.